Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Sat Chat time. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope that my voice sounds good because I've been kind of froggy today, and especially since returning from France for some reason, my nose has been running so much. I've had to blow my nose a lot. I don't know if I've got a little allergies or low-level cold or just the changing of from environments or whatnot, but it's very annoying. So so hopefully it doesn't come across. I hope you're having a good week. The weather is getting nicer. It's 65 outside right now and sunny. And my friend Karen and I are going to go painting this afternoon. I'm not sure where we're going to go, but I think I'd like to check out Sears Island because I've never been there and I really am feeling the need to be near the ocean. So that'll be good. And yeah, I just wanted to record this before I head out. So upcoming, I want to mention on Sunday, which is tomorrow from when you're watching this, I have an interview with Miranda Watson from Alkali Creek Art. And the reason I wanted to talk to her is because she has decided she's doing a permanent art supply no-buy. And that's it. She is done. She has everything she needs. She is not buying another thing unless, she uses up every single tube of white acrylic paint. Not she uses her favorite tube and then goes by it. No, she'll go and use every one that she has until they're all gone. Which I found so fascinating when she was doing that. And I was explaining this to my husband. He's like, you find it fascinating that she's going to use what she has and not buy other stuff. And I think it's fascinating to be a YouTube creator and decide to do that because there's always interesting new things coming out that you want to try, that people want to try, people want to see. And I mean, I struggle with that all the time because I'll see something new and I want to try it, and then I go to share it and I'm like, oh, is this gonna fire up the want monster in people, or is it gonna help them kind of scratch that itch to get it themselves if they see me use it, or, I don't know, I'm very conflicted on that. So I thought that would be a really interesting conversation. I've actually already recorded it before I went on the retreat. So I just wanted to wait to post it until I was home because that's such a touchy topic, and if anyone's going to be rude, I just want to be there to kind of cut it off at the pass, right? Basically, obviously I open genuine discourse in the or discord in the comments, but not mean discord. So I know that's kind of a touchy topic, so I just wanted to be around when it goes up, just in case there's any sort of issue with it. But it was just a really fun and friendly conversation, as all the podcasts are, but I thought it was such a refreshing topic. Anyway, so that's coming up tomorrow. I just posted, now speaking on the other side of that coin, I just posted the group haul from my France retreat yesterday. So basically we went to this art supply store in Albi, and it was fun to see what was available in different parts of the world. And it was funny because as I was going back through to try to find these products that people had found, there's this cute little pastel store that we went to, and I bought some pigment powders to make some watercolors with, and then I ended up buying some of their pastels and some of their watercolors. I bought 2 watercolors because I was paying in cash and didn't have change, so I grabbed these 2 watercolors to bring it up to equal to what I was paying. And the ones that I made from their pigments came out better than the ones that I bought. But anyway, that's only on one type of paper. I haven't really given it a full test or anything, but I do have those in the pile of to be reviewed products. But anyway, I always think it's kind of interesting to see what's available and how much it costs in other areas. And as I was hunting and linking stuff up, there were some things I absolutely could not find, the mixed media La Carte paper by Sennelier. Couldn't find that anywhere, just their regular one, and it was way more expensive here than it was in France. And but then there was other stuff that's oh, I didn't even know you could get that in I'd never seen it before. I didn't know we could buy it here. I did find the paint on paper, not the same assortment pack that I bought, but I did find it on Blick, and I was really surprised because I thought that that's just something you can't get here. I think it was more expensive here, but anyway, that was kind of interesting just to go through and see if they were available here. So anyway, that's up if you want to check that out. Nothing was really obnoxious. There was no big obnoxious hauls from anybody. It's just you've got 16 mini little hauls. Not everybody decided to participate, but it was optional. It was optional. I've had my kind of follow-up call with Uptrek about the retreat, and they were very pleased with how it went. Most of the reviews, all but one of the reviews, was 10 out of 10. And of course, guess what review sticks in my head? Oh, so, you know, they asked me if I want to do another one at the fall of 2025, and I'm thinking about it. I thought I would be kind of like, yeah, sign me up right now, but as I've had a little bit of time to think, and also how tired I've been since I've gotten back, I'm giving it a little pause. I'm making sure I give it a lot of thought before I definitely agree, because on one hand, it's a great opportunity and to see another part of the world that I probably wouldn't go out of my way to see on my own. On the other hand, it's very exhausting. And I have this and probably I have this feeling because, and I didn't get a bad review. It was just, it was a little criticism. I worry that I'm not very good in real life. You know, I'm better here on the screen as you're seeing me now. The lighting's better. My energy's higher. It's a little bit more polished. It's a little bit, I know this is polished, right? You can edit out the boring parts of who you are online. You can't edit out the boring parts of who you are when you're spending a week with people. And granted, I've been seeing other people's retreats, and Angela Fair's been in Greece, and seeing her beautiful paintings, everything's so bright, colorful, and and it just she seems like she's such a natural at it. And I'm like, well, did people feel like they got as good of an experience with me? And I know we shouldn't compare ourselves to other people, but but you just can't help it, and you just wonder, it's like, well, was my experience good enough? I definitely wasn't as good at like filming like those little slices of life, slices of the day. I'm very cautious about filming people without their permission. I don't want to do that. So when I did the art show and tell, which I'll post, coming up in the next couple of weeks, and like the haul video and any sort of photos that I took, I want to make sure it was okay with people that I posted them. So I'm not just posting willy-nilly, and maybe I'm not like aggressive enough in that, and I should have been posting more. I've also been kind of the type of person that doesn't like to share too much while they're away. I'm not an over social media sharer like in my personal life. It's all pretty much everything I share online is like kind of art related mostly. So I'm very conflicted about that, just sharing like, I don't know, I hate it when I'm in a photo posted online and it's unflattering, or if I find it's unflattering, nobody else might even bat an eyelash, but if I think that I don't like the way I look or whatever. So I try to be very cautious about that for other people. And so I don't know, maybe I didn't share enough photos because like, you just compare, you see other people's stuff that they're sharing or stuff that's being reshared by like Uptrek and stuff. And it's just, it's like, oh, did I not post good enough photos? Did I not do enough? And I haven't been sleeping very well. And I know when I haven't been sleeping very well, all the negative thoughts come in and I start to like judge myself harshly. And I was kind of very stressed before I left, but I kept myself very busy so that I wouldn't be stressed about traveling. And I want to make sure I had everything there on time, and everything was all logistically, which Uptrek was so great. They handled all these logistics and stuff, but still you worry a bit, like what if like the flights are delayed? What if? And so I was kind of not sleeping very well before I left, and I didn't sleep well there because then, you're very keyed up, and then coming home, I've fallen asleep really well at night, which probably due to the fact that, the time zones, they were 6 hours ahead of us. So obviously I fall asleep a little bit earlier, but the way that our flights went, I feel like I settled into each time pretty well, because we left here to go over there in the morning, and we got there, we kind of flew through the night, and we got there the next morning. So I felt like I was kind of like in step with where I needed to be. I was tired, but I felt like I was pretty well in step. And then coming home, we flew out very early in the morning, and we flew all day. And when we got home, it was night, and so I was ready for bed shortly after we got home. I was actually kind of like falling asleep in the plane, falling asleep on the bus, just kind of like, just thank goodness I didn't have to drive, because I was so tired. But I haven't, like, I've been waking up really early and not able to fall back asleep again. And I have that issue sometimes. It's something that I've always had, like, I never really thought it was a type of insomnia, but I guess it's actually a type of insomnia. It's called like early waking insomnia. Because like if I wake up in the morning, I rarely ever can fall back asleep. Maybe one every 50 times I wake up early. Like there was one day last week that I woke up at like 4. And I went back to sleep and I slept till 7. But other than that, it's like I've been waking up around 5:30 and just up. But I go to bed around 10 or 11, so it's not really quite enough time for me. And I don't have to get up early for anything, but still. it's like the dog doesn't even want to have a walk until 8:30. So, you know, I end up just sipping coffee and watching videos and maybe, you know, doing some computer work and stuff like that. So I'm not being super productive when I'm up this early. I'm being very kind of like wishing I could sleep more. Like this morning I got up, it was like 5:30, and I just automatically hit the button on the coffee maker to like start it going. And I laid on the couch with a blanket, and I'm like, oh, why did I start the coffee? And it's going to get burnt if I don't get up and drink it. And I did try to fall back asleep, but I couldn't. And anyway, I've been up. And then it's just, I know when I don't get enough sleep, it kind of like, it chips away at my mental well-being. And yeah, I'm just kind of feeling that. I've been feeling that last week or so, which is weird because it's summer, and summer is my happy time. The time where I can relax a bit and, you know, enjoy some of the time that I bought myself by working extra during the winter, but I'm just not feeling it yet. I don't know why. I'm just not. Probably because I've had little irritations that, that's definitely part of it. So like I hate making appointments. So whenever I have like a doctor's visit, I book my appointment for the next year, whether it's eye doctor, dentist, you know, your yearly physical with your OBGYN, I book it a year in advance. And so I had my yearly physical this week and everything was fine. But I wanted to I wanted to get like, so I don't have like just a regular GP. They just move, they come and go so fast around here. I don't know if it's just, if that's how it is everywhere or if that's just a rural Maine thing. But, anytime I've gone in, like and I'm knock on wood, you know, been very lucky. I haven't had a sick visit. I haven't had to go in from being sick for like, I don't know, 20 years. I had pneumonia like 20 years ago. And that's the only sick visit I've ever had to go to. And other than that, it's just a yearly physical. And when I got pregnant with my first child, I, you know, researched. I wanted a doctor that we all could go to. I would rather have a family practitioner than a pediatric. I'm like, we'll get everybody in the same place and it'll be great. And it was for about 2 years. And then the doctor finished its residency and went back to Newfoundland. And so I'm like, well, that stinks. So I decided to find a pediatric doctor for the kids. I'm like, this is for the birds. I'm not even going to bother going. I'll go to my yearly checkup with my OBGYN and, you know, that's fine. And then getting into the pediatric practice was difficult. There was one practice I really wanted to get into, and it's like, unless you knew somebody that could tell you when they were taking new patients, you had somebody on the inside, it was like impossible to get in. And it was like, I was in a twins group, and one of the moms knew the deal, and she's like, call tomorrow morning, they've got openings. And so like 8 o'clock in the morning when they opened, I called and I got the kids into this pediatric practice. And that's where they were for, you know, till they graduated high school, and then they aged out. And I didn't realize how hard it would be to get in anywhere else. That, I mean, what I should have done when they got the paperwork saying your child is 18, they've aged out of this, they could go to this, you know, other one in our network, this other like family practice that is in the same family as the pediatric. And I didn't think anything about it. The kids were going off to college. I got them all vaccinated, took them for like a last visit to make sure everything was all good, and figured, well, you know, we'll pick somebody when I have time to do the research, or when, oh, naive Lindsay thinks she can do the research and choose a doctor that she wants. Oh no. I called so many offices yesterday, just trying to find somebody that was taking new patients. One network I called was like, all of our practices are full except for Jackman, and they're only taking people from the surrounding towns. Jackman is like, FYI, like a 3-hour drive from here. And I'm like, oh my word, how is this so difficult? And then the other thing, which I had my ringer on all day yesterday because I was waiting for a call back. I got so like last year, my doctor was like, well, you know, you're over 45. You probably ought to think about getting a colonoscopy, because now it's like 45, they recommend it. And I'm like, okay, set it up. I'll do, you know, honestly, I do whatever my doctor recommends. I figure, you know, it's hard to get into a doctor. You pay them a lot of money for their advice. You gotta follow their advice, you know? I'm the most compliant patient in the world. All you gotta say is, stop doing that, it'll give you cancer. You can guarantee I will stop doing that. I am just like, you know, to the letter, a bit of a hypochondriac, you know. So I'm like, all right. So I get the letter in the mail and you get a call and make an appointment. So last year I called and I left a message like, if you wait time, thank you for holding. If you'd rather leave a message, we'll call you back to schedule when, there's somebody free. I'm like, fine, I'll do that. And they never called me back. So this was last fall and I never called them back because ew, I don't want to. Balls in their court, I'm thinking. So I just got a letter in the mail right before I left for France saying that if you still want to have a colonoscopy, please call us anyway, because if you don't want to, we want to know that too. If we send you this in error, I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta do that. So I called up yesterday. I'm like, I am eating all the frogs today. I'm getting all of this done. And, so I called, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stay on hold. I'm going to wait for somebody to pick up. And so you're the first in line. Okay, great. Waiting. A couple minutes later. And then it's got the music. First it's got some pop country song on there, music version. And then it had some show tune music version. I'm like, it's been about 5 minutes. And then the cycle of the notices have gone through. And it's been the second time saying, if you want to leave a message, we'll get back to you as soon as we can within the next 24 to 48 hours. So I told myself I was going to stay on the line, but then I'm like, you know what? I've been on for 5 minutes already. This is ridiculous. I'm sure it won't happen twice in a row. So I left my information, date of birth, all that jazz. Still waiting for a call back. That was yesterday. Well, we'll see. Well, I guess if I don't hear back by Monday, on Tuesday, I'll give them another call and just wait on the line. But this is so frustrating and infuriating. It's like, I'm a relatively conscientious person. I'm a relatively intelligent person. And if it's just frustrating for me to make an appointment, what are people that are working 9 to 5 and they're trying to call between the hours of 8:30 and 4? I mean, if they call at 8:30 and they could be at work at 9, how do people get in places? I don't even understand. And I actually went on the line. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go on the computer and look at my health insurance and see, if they have a list of providers. And it's not like I'm in some small, tiny, minute health insurance. It's like Blue Cross. It's Blue Cross Blue Shield, for goodness sake. It's probably the biggest health insurance company. And I'm like, oh, I'll go to their web. They probably have a list of who's accepting new patients. They did. All these people are not accepting new patients. So it's like, man, oh man, how do people do it? And I guess probably once you're in somewhere, it's fine, because then you can call because all these places say same day sick visits, and I'm like, if you have same day sick visits, how come I can't get in? Oh, well, new patients, that won't be till January. It's like, wow, the one place was taking new patients. It was end of December into January that they were booking new patient visits, and it's like, that's not going to work. That's what I'm trying to, get somebody in before their fall semester starts up. So I didn't know. I mean, if I had known this was something like this, I would have called when she was still in school. But it's like, you wouldn't think, I wanted to try to make an appointment in March, if she's not going to be back until May, I would just thought I thought the wheels moved a lot quicker. And I guess that's my bad. And the thing that kind of is really funny to me is that people will say that you don't want universal health care because you have to wait so long for appointments. And I'm like, well, we have for-profit health care and we have to wait to get an appointment. I'm really thinking insurance is the problem, though, because I don't have dental insurance. I pay out of pocket when I go in, and I get scheduled every 6 months. I can schedule earlier than 6 months because I don't have to get approval from an insurance company. And it's cheaper than what the insurance premium for dental insurance is, just to pay for my cleanings out of pocket. Even if I had a filling, it would still be cheaper to pay out of pocket than to use insurance. And then even if you have insurance, it might not cover what you need or cover all of it. So yeah, it's so frustrating. Anyway, gosh, I didn't mean to rant about that for so long. I should see what's on my list. But oh, by the way, back there on the easel, I was just unpacking my my bags from the trip. That was one of my plein air pieces that I did. I'll bring it over a little bit closer. It's a little dark. It was so bright that day, so I think I got my colors a little dark. But anyway, I took so many photos. That was just a fun one that I did. That we did. Some of us did. Some of us did that one. Some of us got gathered in other places. It's just hard. It's hard to. And one thing that and I'll give this tip actually because I wish I thought of it. I didn't think of it. I feel like such a moron. I wish I asked to have a video monitor so I could put my phone over my work and have it projected up so everybody could see. Because when you have 16 people all spread out in a room, it's so hard to demo things. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I'm like, duh, that's the most obvious thing to think of. and I didn't. And so if you're doing an art retreat or doing an art class or something in person, if you can get a monitor system set up or a microphone or something, because like, oh, my voice was toast by the end of the week. I was able to be heard, but like it felt like razor blades in my throat. So yeah, that would be another thing. Get a mic too if you can. But it's like I didn't think of it because it was my first one, and I'm just like, yeah. So I'm like Monday morning quarterbacking my retreat, and you know, the gleam of this is so awesome is kind of subsiding. Now I'm thinking, I should have done that better. I should have done that better. Why am I such a moron? Why didn't I think of that? And yeah, so now I'm thinking, am I even a teacher? Should I even teach in person? Should I, just kind of like, do you know? I don't know. But anyway, I taught in real life. That's what I did for a living before, I had kids. I had this teaching studio, and it's like, why do I feel like a fish out of water? I don't know. So I got my list. I did go kayaking last week. My friend who I plein air paint with, we went on a 3-hour kayak paddle last Friday, and that was really great. I got there though. Thank goodness we were paddling at a pond close to me because I forgot my paddle. I had the kayak all loaded up. I'm like, paddle. I had to go back for my paddle. I'm telling you, I'm not working with the full mental capacity these days. But yeah, I did paddle for 3 hours, and I was sore, but a good sore. It only sore that night. I was fine the next day, which was good because I was like, oh my gosh, how out of shape am I? Not too bad. But speaking of that, Lila and I, this basement has never been cleaner. I've got to tell you, we cleaned the home gym area, and we hung up fabric to kind of like box in a room, if you will, and cover up the cement walls and cover up the storage under the stairs and all of that. And we actually pulled out the bulkhead stairs. So if you're not familiar with how basements are, because I know a lot of parts of the country you don't have basements. So your basement is basically the footprint of your house, but then you need to have a way to get out, like in case of a fire. So we have a bulkhead. So basically, if you've ever watched any like if you watch Wizard of Oz or any of those like tornado movies where you've got people going into a storm cellar and you've got the doors that are kind of like at a slant next to the house, and they open it up and they walk down. So it's basically like a notch cut out. It's like extra basement that's notched out beyond your house, and then you've got these bulkhead doors, and so you've got stairs in that little notched out area, so you can walk out to the outside because you have to get up to the level ground. So we pulled those stairs out because the stairs they have stair treads, but they're open, like the risers are open, and I like to open up the bulkheads and let fresh air in, and so like leaves will blow in, and just dust and gunk and grime and stuff gets under there. So we pulled out the stairs, cleaned all that nastiness out. That's where the salamanders sometimes live. Luckily I didn't find any salamanders. And then put the stairs back in, which is kind of funny because I'm like, oh no, because I'm like trying to pull the stairs in from the inside, and I realize I am trapped behind the stairs. Lila had to lower a step stool down to me to climb up. Then I was like, oh, how do I get the step stool out? It was a comedy of errors, but I've got that all cleaned out. It looks so good. So nice and clean. I swept up so much irony stuff from just because the basement will flood originally once in a while if we lose power. So I have to make sure there's nothing on the floor. But there's I don't know, ground rust or whatever. I was like, oh, I could have made pigment with that. I could have made paint with it. But by that time of the day, I was just like, I'm done. I also cleaned out, reorganized the room of hoard a bit because I had this drying rack on top of this precarious stack of plastic Sterilite drawers that have and I had storing glass on it. Why am I storing a sheet of glass on this thing that loves to fall down on me when I'm trying to get into lower drawers of that, and everything starts shaking? So I moved that to a safer place so it can just be used as a drying rack. And I didn't really declutter much because I've gotten rid of a few pretty massive amounts of stuff recently. But still, I was over there, but I was in decision fatigue so bad. I'm like, I can't even decide on anything, but everything's organized and put away, and my tables are all nice and painted white. And then this room was a total disaster until yesterday evening. I came down and I'm like, I've got to do some work because honestly, I was on hold. I was just calling around. How much time do we have left? Oh, we've got about 4 minutes left. I was just on hold and and I had my doctor's appointment. I feel like if I have an appointment, and I always schedule on first thing of the day, but then, I'm going to do groceries, I'm going to do some errands, I'm going to get, while I'm out and about, I'm going to get all this stuff done. I rarely will get anything other than just your baseline workday stuff done, like the computer stuff and whatnot. And I'm like, I've got to get this office cleaned up because I took on another freelance job this summer. And I've got to start that. It's got to be filmed. It's a filming. I'm doing a class for another platform, which for another company, which I'll talk more about when it gets closer to it. But I'm like, I've got to get this space orderly. I hadn't unpacked any of my art supplies from France. I hadn't had some stuff come in for reviews that were just kind of like piled up. I had stuff in progress that was piled up. It was just like how my mind is, how my mind has been, just like cluttered and indecisive, and it was just a mess. And so I came down here last night and like, I got to work on this for a little bit, and I got that all normalized and things put away and things kind of on deck for reviews, and just yeah, the stuff put away in the room of hoard that doesn't need to be in here. I went through my sketchbooks and paper pads that I had out. It's like, these do not need to live in here. I need to, because I usually go over there and I pull what I need for a project. I don't need to have everything always right here. So I got that done, and that felt pretty good. Then I took my laptop upstairs and just did some more work on that out of this this area. But yeah, I've been just feeling very I don't know, kind of stressed and overwhelmed, indecisive. Yeah, don't ask me to decide anything right now because I'm just freeze. I'm in freeze mode, I guess, which is not a good place to be. That's definitely not where you want to be. And I've also been thinking about doing a retreat in upstate New York this fall, but I'm really doubting myself, and I'm like, I don't know, is it going to be, it would be way cheaper because it wouldn't have, you know, it wouldn't be an expensive venue, and it wouldn't have all the bells and whistles of a European trip. It wouldn't have like the more expensive excursions and stuff like that. But then again, I'm like, well, I don't know, people feel like it's worth it. People feel like I'm worth it to go. And yeah, so yeah, just being filled with like self-doubt and whatnot. I know you're like, gosh, Lindsay, I tune into this to listen to you whine for 27 minutes. Get with the program. Oh, but something funny that happened yesterday that was actually kind of neat. And why was it neat? And that's a whole other can of worms. But I got carded at the grocery store. I was buying some, because I'm like, it is summer. I really feel like I want to celebrate summer. I want to have backyard backyard fires. I want to, you know, have friends over, have fun, have like just hang out with friends and have a good time. You know, just get those social bonds. I feel like that's why I really need the kind of the social bonds right now. So I got a 6-pack of the Mike's Zero Hard Lemonade, which is my summer drink of choice, at 0 sugar. And so I bought that, and I got carded at the grocery store, which that was like a little highlight of my day. But she's like, why is a highlight of my day where if someone tells me I look young enough to get carded, it's probably just their policy. But I bought wine and all kinds of stuff there, and I've not been carded, so you know, whatever. I got carded anyway. But that gave me a little thrill, a little like, whew, you know, like a little boost. But it's like, why? Why does that give me a boost? That, you know, why am I so superficial and shallow that gives me a little bit of a boost? I don't know. Why does it like totally ruin my day if somebody, you know, says I look old or bad or worn down or whatever? Why are we like that? Why am I like that? I don't know. And it's so trivial. There are real problems in the world. People are suffering and people are, you know, struggling, and, you know, I'm whining about this. You know, gosh, check your privilege, woman. That's how I feel. So I feel like, you know, on one hand, this is bothering me to get it off my chest. On the other hand, it's like, grow up. You know, you're a hypochondriac, you know, privileged person. Get over yourself. So yeah, that's where I'm at. How are you doing this weekend? I hope you're a little bit more upbeat than I am. But I'm gonna go paint, go find the ocean, and hopefully that might. So I wasn't gonna edit this. I was gonna like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. That's fine. My camera ran out of recording time because I can only record for like 28 minutes at a time. I'm like, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just leave it. Just leave it. And then you know, it's like, but can you really leave it like that, Lindsay? That's lazy. That's lazy leaving the video like that. And so here we are. I definitely, yeah, I don't know. It's like, and also I have to say that what we consider lazy in America would probably be super productive in other countries. But then again, there's like this stereotype of the lazy American, but it's like stores in France, they close for 2 hours for people to go have lunch. Museums close for a couple hours for people to go have lunch. And they still close at like regular, like 5 p.m. And But you know, I have this like voice in my head constantly telling me, stop being so lazy, do it right, stop being so lazy, you know, and you know, so that's me telling myself to stop being so lazy and to do it right. Oh my word, you've been in my inner monologue. I feel so I feel so weird letting people in like that. But anyway, I did forget to mention this. If you are in Critique Club, there is a new project up. It is this French scene. It's using the technique called wash then line, where you put in like a loose watercolor blocking in of areas and then you go in with fine liners. So I did want to mention that in case you didn't see that I posted it and you're in Critique Club, or if you want to be in Critique Club, you will find this in there as well as the second tutorial for March. I've got to get my prompt ready for June. I can't believe it. June! Is today June? Today, I'm trying to think, because yeah, I'm recording this on Friday. Yes, it will be June when this goes up. And, but I do know what I'm doing for my prompt in Critique Club, so that's good at least. Whew. But, man, let's see. Do I have anything else I want to mention since I'm editing this anyway? Oh, gosh. It's a weird vibe. I usually don't feel like this in the summer. I usually feel like this in the fall, in the winter. The days are getting shorter. That's when my anxiety really kind of kicks into high gear. I don't know why it's hitting me so badly right now. I thought, and honestly, this is the thing, I thought that once the retreat was over, because I was really, you know, worried about that and worried about doing a good job and having it, you know, people feel like it was worth their time and worth their money and their, you know, their energy to go. I was really worried about that, and I thought, well, once I get back home and, you know, planes don't crash and all of that stuff, I will feel so calm because I will have that big milestone thing done, the big bucket list item, that big thing I've been, you know, planning for so long done. But I didn't feel that relief. I thought I would just feel like a huge relief to having accomplished it, have done it, and I didn't, and that's makes me feel sad because I thought that would kind of be the like, okay, now it's time to relax and it's summer. But I don't feel like that. I'm hoping that I can get to that space, and maybe it's just the fact that I've been like go for so long that to like hop off the treadmill is just disorienting. I don't know, because you know, like when you step off an escalator, it feels weird for a second, or you step off one of those moving sidewalks, like in an airport, it feels weird for a second to not be moving. Or if you get off a ride at the fair, it feels weird to not be moving. I think that might be part of it, but I've got this just like this buzz, this low level buzz of just of anxiety, of uncertainty, and I don't know what that is. And I completely forgot to mention that to my doctor yesterday, being like, do you have anything? Take the edge off once in a while, I could take as needed. I completely forgot. I thought of it as I was driving home, and then it's like, and I don't want to call, you know, because I was so sick of calling doctor's offices. Oh, I don't know. But then again, I am like such a hypochondriac, so it's probably just nothing. It's just, you know, it's just me overthinking things because, you know, I'm not busy enough. I don't know. Am I too busy? Am I not busy enough? I don't know. What is life? Aren't you glad I restarted this video to put this extra gem of existential crisis in? I guess I haven't given anybody a dose of existential crisis lately. And it's so silly. It's so silly. It's so superficial and silly and just so unimportant that I can't believe I'm even mentioning it. Is anybody still... I wouldn't be surprised if everybody just unsubscribed. Yeah, I'm not even looking at my analytics. I did look at my analytics, and I think that's part of, like, that's always part of it. But views always dip in the summer, so I've been, like, telling myself, just take it easy this summer. Views always dip. Don't look at it. Don't worry about it. Don't pay attention to a negative comment or a negative review or critical review, because that's, you know, you always put too much emphasis on that and not enough emphasis on the positive. So, but I never learn. I never learn. Oh boy. But anyway, podcast tomorrow, check it out. It's a good one, I think. Anyway, definitely had me thinking about how I'm living my life, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be. But oh, and I saw I put this scarf in my hair. I saw a video where this woman had these beautiful scarves and she was doing so many fun things with them. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. And I'm looking through my measly collection of scarves. I have a lot of bandanas, but not a lot of scarves. And I realized I have no scarves big enough to do the fancy like scarf thingies that she was doing, but I did tie this one in, and I put my hair in like buns because I just washed it this morning and I cannot be bothered to dry it or do anything to it. And that keeps the scarf from sliding off the back of my head because it's a silky scarf. But anyway, that's all. Really not worth 30 minutes of your time. I'm so sorry. I'm just, yeah, I just want to apologize for this entire set. But if you did like it, please thumbs up and subscribe. What is life? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.